Everyone, please place your devices on mute.
Por favor, todos pongan sus aparatos en silencio, desactiven el micrófono.
Ms. Yates, I still see some individuals connecting to audio. Is that correct on my end?
Yes, that's correct. They
I
are.
want to make sure they can hear me.
Judge, it looks like you only have
Ms.
one
Yates,
more.
I still see some individuals connecting to audio. Is that correct on my end?
Yes, that's correct.
Is everyone good, Ms. Yates?
It appears that everyone is good.
Okay.
We got one more?
Okay.
I don't see him.
You see him, Henley?
Oh, yeah, I see him now. I'll send.
Judge, do you hear Juanita Redding?
Yes, we hear you, Miss Redding.
Okay, thanks.
I just sent him a message to.
Oh, you went back on mute.
I'm
Ms.
sorry.
No
I had sent Mr. Henley a message to connect his audio. We may
Okay.
have to log him off and just have him just to reconnect.
Okay.
But if you'd like to proceed.
Yes, I'd like to proceed. If he logs, if you need to do that technically, just kind of send me the smoke signal and I'll restate my opening remarks, okay?
Okay.
All right, good morning, everyone.
Buenos días a todos.
My name is Judge Sellers.
Mi nombre es George Sellers. Juez Sellers.
And this is the August 17th trial calendar for the Forest Park Municipal Court.
Y esta es la audiencia para los juicios del 17 de agosto de 2022 aquí en el Tribunal Municipal de Forest Park.
This is, you have been assigned to this particular calendar because you've entered
a usted se le asignó esta fecha en particular porque usted se declaró.
Because you've entered a plea of not guilty to the charges that you, to the charges.
Porque usted se declaró no culpable a los cargos que se le imputaban.
And so today is your day in court to present evidence that you have of your not guilty.
Entonces hoy es el día que le toca a usted presentarse aquí a la corte para presentar pruebas de que usted no es culpable.
What I'd like to do before I call the calendar, I do want to give some general ground rules.
Antes de llamar a la lista de casos, quiero dar algunas indicaciones preliminares.
First, although we are in a virtual setting,
primero, aunque estamos aquí virtualmente,
this is still court.
Esto todavía es una corte, un tribunal.
That means we cannot lay down in bed.
Eso quiere decir que no podemos estar acostados en la cama.
We need to be appropriately dressed.
Tenemos que estar vestidos debidamente.
Please keep your videos and keep your videos on at all time.
Por favor, mantenga su video prendido en todo el momento, a todo momento.
Well, let me give a caveat to that. If you need to go off video. If it's not your particular case and you need to go off video to handle any personal matters, we certainly don't want to come with you.
Y otra cosa que quiero aclarar, por supuesto, que si usted tiene, si no es su turno, que le toque hablar de su caso y usted tiene que encargarse de algunas cuestiones personales, por favor, apague el video porque no queremos estar con usted por todos lados, no queremos meternos en sus cuestiones personales.
Okay. Please keep your microphones muted until we call you.
Por favor, mantenga su micrófono desactivado hasta que llamemos o digamos su nombre.
Also, before we begin trials, you will have an opportunity, if you'd like to, you can have an opportunity to speak to the solicitor.
También, si usted desea, antes de empezar el juicio, usted tiene la oportunidad de hablar con el fiscal si así lo quiere.
Please remember, the solicitor represents the city of Forest Park.
Por favor, recuerde que el fiscal representa a la ciudad de Forest Park.
Anything that you say to him may be used against you should you choose to proceed to trial.
Cualquier cosa que usted le diga a él puede ser usado en su contra si usted decide proceder con el juicio.
So I want to call the calendar to see who's here and see if anyone needs our Spanish interpreter, Miss Lynn, today.
También voy a llamar a la lista de casos para ver quién está acá y para ver quién necesita la ayuda de la intérprete, la señora Lynn.
When I call your name, please come off mute and say here, and I will try to identify you by your name on the Zoom.
Por favor, cuando diga su nombre, por favor, pues, active el micrófono y diga que se encuentra aquí, presente, y yo trataré de identificarlo aquí virtualmente por su nombre que tenemos acá.
Right. First person is Javon Cameron Carter.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm here for Mr. Carter.
And you are Ms. Steinhaus.
I am. Good morning.
Good morning. Ms. Steinhaus, would you like to pre-trial with the solicitor or would you like to just go to trial?
So we have pre-tried this case twice. It was set for a plea in absentia. I have not been able to get in contact with Mr. Carter. He did appear on the last Zoom hearing. He is not on this Zoom hearing. And I have sent him a letter, a 4.3 letter to withdraw as counsel. So I would request from the court that I can get a reset so that I can follow procedure for that and file the proper motions after the required 10 days.
Okay. Any opposition from the city? Mr. Marrero?
Judge, I have no objection.
Okay. All right, we'll go ahead and reset that, Ms. Steinhaus. Madam Clerk, let's do it 30. The rules require 30 days, Ms. Steinhaus. I don't know where you are in the process. Will a 30-day reset be sufficient?
That would be sufficient, yes.
Okay, Madam Clerk, can we do a 30-day reset on that case, please?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you.
And I'll receive that via email.
Yes, you will.
Wonderful. That's all I have before you this morning, Judge. Am I able to be excused?
You are. Have a great day, Ms. Steinhaus.
Thank you. You too.
Next, I have John Abel Cooks. I see someone labeled Cooks and off mute, but I can't hear you, sir. Can you cut up your volume, please?
I'm here. Hello.
So I see you talking, but I can barely hear you. Madam Clerk, can you hear him? Is it my audio?
I cannot hear him.
Okay, Mr. Cooks, I don't know if it's your earphones or there's a disconnect.
I can hear them, but it's very, very low.
I'm here.
Okay, I can hear you, sir. It's very, very low. So when you'll need to adjust your volume settings, but let me get you a plea. Are you still interested in pleading not guilty and proceeding to trial?
Yes.
Okay. Did you want an opportunity to speak to the solicitor prior to trial?
Yes.
You don't have to, sir. I'm just asking. You're not required. I'm just asking if that's what you want to do, and I can barely hear you.
No, I don't.
You do not want to speak to the solicitor. You just want to proceed to trial. Is that what I understood, sir?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. While I keep calling the calendar, can you, I don't know if you need to go on speakerphone or come off of those headphones. Can you address that, please, sir? Okay.
Hello? You
It's getting a little better, sir, but it requires some attention. Okay, so go back on mute and then see if you can address your situation. Thank you. Otis Lee Elder.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Alex Henson for Mr. Elder.
Good morning, Attorney Henson.
Your Honor, we actually have not had arraignment yet. We asked to be reset for our last court date because we were waiting on discovery, and that's still the case.
All right. Mr. Marie Rose, any objection?
Judge, no, we do have the officer present. I understand, though, Mr. Henson's issue in reference to not receiving the discovery. I don't have any issue with resetting this for 30 days. Mr. Henson, I'm assuming that you reached out to the clerk about the discovery info?
I believe my paralegal did when we reset the case last time.
Okay. Can you just resend the request for us to make sure that we have it, and then we'll reset it for another 30 days, hopefully give you enough time to get it, and then we'll circle back up then.
Yeah, we can do that. Absolutely.
All right, thank you. And Judge, that was Trooper Chavez's only matter on for this morning. So if we're resetting that, can he be excused?
Absolutely, Trooper Chavez, thank you for your time. Be safe out there.
Thank you, ma'am. You too. Have a good day.
Okay, and Attorney Henson, you will get the reset notice from the clerk. Is that correct, Ms. Yates?
Yes.
30-day reset for Mr. Elder.
Yes.
Mr. Henson, do you have any other business before the court?
No, Your Honor.
You may be excused, sir. Have a great day.
You as well.
That
Thank you.
would have came from.
Thank you. Okay. Next, we have Jerice Rayshawn Ellis.
Yes, good morning. I'm here.
Good morning, Mr. Ellis. Would you like to proceed to trial? Would you like an opportunity to talk to the solicitor first, or are we just proceeding to trial?
No, I would like to speak with the solicitor, but I was under the impression that my court hearing was tomorrow, but I did get a reminder for today. But I say that to say I was supposed to receive like an application for the attorney, and I didn't get that. So I don't know where I'm at in this process, but I don't know why I would be going to trial without even, you know what I mean? Like having an opportunity to obtain an attorney.
Are you speaking of a public defender, sir?
A public defender, yeah, correct. I'm sorry, I didn't have the right verbiage, but yeah.
No, that's fine. That's why we're here to try to discuss it. Did you make a request for that, sir?
Yeah, well, my first appearance, they told me that I was going to receive like in 3 days or something like that. I was going to get something in the mail, and I never received that. And then when I called to see what my next court date was, they said that it was I thought she said it was an arraignment, but I guess it's pretrial. So I don't really know where we're at in this process, but I do know I didn't speak with a public defender, or I didn't even start that process. So
okay. All right, Madam Clerk, is there a request or?
I'm checking into it right now.
Okay. Mr. Ellis, hold one moment. I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to give the, well, let's wait for the clerk to take a look at it. We'll give her one moment.
Okay. But I can still talk to the solicitor.
Well, no, if you want a public defender, I think that it's in your best, I think that it's in everyone's best interest that we sort out the public defender situation.
Okay.
And if you've requested one, we just need to figure out what's going on with the process.
Okay, so the notation that I have from July the 12th was that he had called to inquire about his court date. I checked the court docket. There was no indication that he requested a public defender. He did state that he was pleading not guilty, and we did reschedule him. He stated that he had received something in the mail, but was unable to locate the documentation that he received in the mail, and we had not heard from him since.
Oh yeah, no, I didn't say that. I think what she means to say is that I called because I thought that I was going to receive like the application in the mail for the public defender, and I was explaining to her that I never received it. So that's what I said to them when I called in.
Okay, well, Mr. Ellis, calm down. Calm down. Is the
I'm
officer,
calm.
Mr. Marie Rose, Mr. Marie Rose, is the officer present? Because I am inclined to at least allow Mr. Ellis to apply for the public defender.
Judge,
And
yeah,
then-
the officer is present online. However, sometimes, because we've been doing Zoom, sometimes there's a disconnect in communication, so it doesn't always go smoothly. The city has no objection to resetting him, sending out the application so that he can fill it in. We would just request that that be turned in within 7 days of the time that we send it to him, so that we can make sure that he's on the next calendar and we have somebody assigned to his case.
Okay, I have that sounds very reasonable. Mr. Ellis, what
Yes,
the
ma'am.
solicitor has indicated, what the solicitor has indicated is that he has no objection, the city has no objection to resetting your case, okay?
Okay.
To allow the clerk to send you the public defender application. However, you must return it within 7 days of the clerk sending it out. Ms. Yates, tell me when we can send that out.
We'll send it out today or tomorrow, but I'll need him we'll send it via email. So if he'll type his email address in the chat, that way we can email that information to him.
Yeah,
Okay.
Thank you. And I believe, Judge, that's what they told me last time. We had to put all our emails in the chat. So I'll do that again. But I appreciate it.
So let's do that now. Mr. Ellis, go ahead and put your email address in the chat. We'll do 7 days from tomorrow just to make it clean, okay? So tomorrow is the 18th, so you must return the form by August 25th, okay?
Okay, now can that be emailed back or can that be mailed in? I'm not driving at the moment.
Miss Yates?
You can email it.
Okay, and I believe Mr. Ellis has put his email address in the chat, Ms. Yates. You have, Mr. Ellis, I'm gonna be clear again, you have until the 25th of August to return that public defender application, okay?
Okay, no problem. Thank you.
All right. And your case will be reset for 30 days.
So I'll receive another notice of the date or 30 days from today.
You'll receive another notice of the date because 30 days may not fall on the trial calendar, but yes.
Right. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Judge.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ellis. Do you have any other, I don't believe you have any other cases before the court, so you are excused, sir.
All right.
Nicole Ashley Phaeton.
I'm here.
Good morning, Ms. Phaeton.
Good morning.
Ms. Phaeton, are we proceeding to trial today, or do you want an opportunity to speak to the public defender first?
A public defender.
I'm sorry, not public defender.
A
Wrong, solicitor.
Yes.
Would you like to speak to the
Judge.
solicitor? I'm sorry,
Yes.
go ahead. Go ahead, Mr. Marie Rose.
Judge, on the calendar, I'm seeing that there was a note that she requested a court-appointed attorney also, but did not return the documents.
Because I
just-
never received that document as well as the same thing the other guy was saying. I agree with them about the email. No, you're supposed to send us something, but I never got it. So I was just really patiently waiting till this court date to maybe see if we was gonna have one present for us or what. I didn't know how it was gonna work out.
Okay, the city would have the same announcement on this matter, Judge. We would reset her, send out another notice, get her to send it back in within 7 days.
All right, Miss
Judge Sellers,
Yes.
I sent her an email on May the 12th with the application attached.
I never received that.
This is, I'm sorry, I hate to jump in, but please check your spam. We've noticed that a lot of our emails go to people's spam. So check that as well, okay?
Okay.
So Ms. Phaeton, Because the city has no objection to resetting your case, we will reset your case for 30 days. Please check your spam, okay?
Okay.
Ms. Yates has indicated that she will send out these applications either today or tomorrow. So you will have 7 days from tomorrow, which is August 25th, okay? To return the application. If you don't get the application by Friday, you need to call.
Okay.
Okay, you need to call and call the clerk's office to figure out what has happened.
Okay.
All right. So because the city has no objection, we'll reset that case for 30 days to get the public defender application.
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Payton, I just sent that email to forward that email to your email address.
All right. Did you already have her email address? Is there another email address, Ms. Payton?
Now I see it in my email. I see it now.
All right. So Ms. Payton, you're on the record saying you got it. I'm still gonna give you that extra day. I'm still gonna give you that extra day to get it in. So you have until August 25th to return it, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Do you have any other business before the court?
No, ma'am.
All right, you may be excused. Have a great day.
You too, thank you.
When Anthony Wendell Gresham. Anthony Wendell Gresham. Madam Clerk, is there anyone online with that name? I'm looking.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay.
The city would move for bond forfeiture. And I guess we're doing an FTA on this one, Judge. I don't know what the history was. Has he shown up for the last hearings or not? But I'm going to assume that he did receive his new court date.
Madam Clerk, did he receive notice of the court date?
Yes.
Okay. I'll grant the city's motion. Dewan.
I'm sorry, Judge. I'm sorry.
No problem.
As it pertains to Gresham, we have sent him a couple of resets, but we did get mail back saying that those letters were undeliverable.
Okay.
Well, that changes the city's position. I think that we do have a notice requirement on those. So, and Judge,
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry,
I
Mr.
don't know how you like to approach these, but anytime usually we have an FTA for a trial date, it's based on us confirming that we gave them notice for the actual court date. And Ms. Green, you said that we've sent, so he wasn't on the arraignment date to plea, is that correct?
We've been in touch with him a couple of times, and we've actually reset him January of this year, August of last year, and February of last year. So we've been in contact with him. So he was aware. He came and pled not guilty and wanted a trial. So we tried to send a new notice. I'm sorry.
That was in January when he pled.
We've had quite a few interactions with him.
Okay.
What's the last interaction?
The last one we sent was for July 30th, and that's the one that came back undeliverable.
So the notice that you sent for this particular trial calendar came back undeliverable?
Yes.
With that information, Mr. Marie Rose, what is the city's position?
The city at this point, knowing that he didn't have notice for this actual court date, would reserve the failure to appear. And I mean, I would assume that we would just try to reserve him, maybe try to contact him at some additional location. And barring that, I believe that the city's met its burden to try to give notice and then move forward at that point, depending on what happens.
Okay.
I don't know if it's being forwarded, but you said it's being returned. So, yeah.
Ms. Green, do we have an email address for him as well?
Let's see. We do not have an email address. I can run his driver's query to see if we have a phone number for him before close of business today.
We have two phone numbers for him.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And
So
we
we
sent
will
text messages.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we'll do is we'll reset the case for 30 days to allow the city due diligence in serving notice. before we proceed? Okay. Right, Dewan Rod. I don't know how to pronounce the middle name. Last name Henley.
Are you trying to say Rodriguez?
Rodriguez, yes. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Mr. Henley, I need you to cut your video on, sir, when you're speaking to the court. Are we appropriately attired,
It's like,
sir?
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
My phone doing something. I got to press the speaking button. It like my face be here when I turn that way, but I got to press the speaking button.
Uh-oh, I saw you, I heard you, and then you went away.
Because I got to talk on the I don't know how this work. It is not letting me do it with seeing y'all at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
You get what I'm saying?
I do. I think you have to put your phone on speaker. You need to have the speaker so that I can see the video, sir. I can see you now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
And I can hear you. So whatever you're doing now works fine.
All right. I just can't see you, but I can hear you though.
Okay. We can, well, let me get a couple of things. Do you, you entered a plea of not guilty previously. Do you want an opportunity to speak to the solicitor, or are we ready to go to trial, sir?
I'm ready to go to trial.
Trial, okay. All right, sir. You can, I don't know what you need to do so you can see me and then also see Mr. Marie Rose and any evidence that he may have to present, okay?
Judge,
Is it working now?
Yeah, I may be able to resolve or shorten this. Let me just make a quick request from, this was, I'm assuming, an accident case because there's a victim listed on here. DeMarcy Scott. Is DeMarcy Scott on the Zoom?
I believe that Zaria Walker is the witness for this as well. One of the witnesses.
Ms. Walker, is that correct? You're a witness on this matter?
Yes, I am.
Okay. All right. So there's no issue with me speaking to him. We do have one witness present. So we can pre-try this case with him, because the other part of the case, Judge, is a document issue, a license. Either he had it or he didn't. So the accident was what I was more concerned with.
Okay. Now he's indicated, Mr. Marie Rose, that he doesn't want to speak to the solicitor, that he just wants to go to trial.
Oh, okay.
Is that what I understand you to say, Mr. Henley?
That's what I said.
Okay. Ms. Walker, you have your hand. Ms. Walker, since there's a witness right now, I think there's only one trial ahead of you. So we should get to you pretty quickly. So I'm sorry, you got to hang on a little longer. All right, Ms. Walker?
No problem at all.
All right. Okay, Mr. Henley, thank you so much. We'll get to your case momentarily. B. April Pleasant. Last name Pleasant.
Jared, we request an FTA on that one.
All right. Is the I have a victim, Carol Ingram, or any witness on behalf of or involved in this particular matter involving Pleasant? All right, Miss Green or Miss Yates, have we had contact with the defendant? Have we sent appropriate notice?
We sent letters.
Okay, nothing's been returned?
Not that I'm aware of.
No, her original court date was reset because she was having surgery, but we did not hear anything since then.
All right. Okay. The city's motion is granted. Right. Juanita Redding.
Here.
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 Good morning, Miss. Good morning, Miss Redding.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well, ma'am, and you?
I'm doing good.
Good. This is your trial date, ma'am. would you like to proceed to trial, or would you like an opportunity to pre-try the case with the solicitor?
Pre-try the case with this.
Okay. Do you understand what that means, ma'am?
No, because the last time when I talked to the guy, he told me to bring my paperwork in. I brought the paperwork in to the courthouse, and they said they was gonna let me know what I need to do from there. So, you know. Hello?
Okay, I think that I froze for a moment, Miss Redding. I apologize. I'm gonna have to have you repeat it because I think I froze in the middle of you talking.
When the last time my case was on, the judge told me to bring some paperwork in. I brought my paperwork in to the court, and they was gonna let me know what I need from there, what I need to do.
Okay, Mr. Marie Rose, anything from the city?
Yeah, so Judge, in reference to her statements, more than likely when she was on the last time, if she spoke to Judge Freeman, he would have requested that she bring information regarding the driver's license issue, if she's claiming that it was not suspended or if it was done in error. Ms. Green, do we have any information where she's dropped that off? She claims that she came by and dropped it off.
I have a note, but Ms. Yates has the actual file.
We attached it to that email as well that we sent you guys on the calendar.
Yes, all of the attachments that she brought are listed on her file that we sent over.
All right, Mr. Marie Rose, would you like an opportunity to review those documents?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll hold on Ms. Redding. Thank you so much, Ms. Redding. Hold on one moment, okay? Don't go away. Just go on mute for me, okay?
All righty.
All right. Lewis Robinson, Lewis William Robinson. Miss Yates is on the call with that name.
I see him, Mr. Robinson.
Unmute. Okay, you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm looking for you, Mr. Robinson. Hold on one moment. I'm trying to. I can see you, Mr. Robinson. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Do you you are on the trial calendar?
I never pled not guilty, ma'am.
Okay. So
Yeah.
do you want to plead not guilty? Tell me what you have not had an arraignment. Is that what I'm understanding? Is that correct, Madam Clerk?
I know last time I was asking the lady about the fine, I wanted to plead because my wife forgot to pay the insurance. I wanted to pay the fine, you know.
Okay.
Whatever. They said I had to appear before court because of no insurance.
All right, Madam Clerk.
Yes, that is correct. He wanted to just come and pay it, but we advised that it's a court mandatory charge, and we put him on a calendar so that he could speak with the solicitor or the judge.
All right. Mr. Marie Rose, Mr. Marie Rose, do you have any objection to speaking to Mr. Robinson? I do see the note on my calendar.
No, Your Honor. We can pre-try.
Okay. All right, Mr. Robinson, what we'll do is we'll allow you to pre-try the case with the solicitor. That means you'll talk to the solicitor or talk to the city's lawyer about the charge. Is that okay?
That's fine, ma'am.
All right, all right. Antonius Scandrette. Antonius Scandrette. I thought that I saw the witness for that case.
Yeah, I'm the witness, but I'm not him.
Yeah, I see that. Is Mr. Scandrette on? Madam Clerks, have we provided proper notice to Mr. Scandrette?
Email right now.
I'm sorry?
I believe she said she was reviewing it, Judge.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
You're okay.
Emailed a letter to him on May the 25th.
All right. Has it
Okay,
been
and then it does
returned?
says, yes, it says that the witness letter returned to sender was not deliverable. The witness?
And we also sent a text message out to everyone.
Oh,
and
yeah.
There was no response either.
Okay, so the witness's letter said non-deliverable, but not the defendant. Is that what I'm understanding, Madam Clerk?
I'm sorry, repeat that.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
correct.
Okay. Did you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I think there's a storm getting ready to come up around my house, and so my internet is.
No,
you
you're
know, that's
fine.
what-
You're fine.
Oh, okay. So we have sent the letter. We sent the letter. The witness's letter came back undeliverable, but we have confirmed that we've given notice to Mr. Scandrett. Is that correct?
Yes, and we also sent him a text message letting him know that he had court today.
Okay, Mr. Marie Rose, with that information, is there a motion from the city?
Can I ask a question?
Hold on one moment, Ms. Johnson, and I'll get your question. I just want to entertain this motion, okay?
Yes, Your Honor, the city moves for failure to appear.
Okay, I'm gonna grant that motion. Ms. Johnson, you had a question.
Did you say that the letter came back undeliverable for me?
There's also another witness.
Oh, okay.
Yep. All right, so we are going to grant that motion. Ms. Johnson, I understand you are the witness in this particular case. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Are you on any other cases on this court calendar?
I don't think so. I shouldn't be,
All
no.
right. Okay, so you are excused, ma'am. You'll get notification in the event that this, this case proceeds further. Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Have a good one.
You too. And I note that Mr. Scandrett has two cases or charges on the calendar. Both of them are, I'm assuming, same motion on the second count as well, Mr.
Yes,
Marie
Judge.
Rose.
And more than likely, the witness subpoena that was returned was for the witness on the second case. Posey, McKell.
Okay. Okay. And we confirmed that in both cases that Mr. Scandrett got notice, correct, Madam Clerks?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Michael David Strong.
I just pulled him up and it looks like he paid his fine.
All right, so that one will be removed from the calendar. Okay. Luis Pippin Tavares.
I'm here. Morning.
Mr. Tavares, before we begin, do you need a Spanish interpreter, sir?
No, I do not.
Okay, you speak good English and you understand you understand English?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Miss Lynn, I think that was the only case that I had that may have required a Spanish interpreter. You want to
Yes,
hang
Your
on
Honor.
to? Yeah, you're free to go unless you just want to
Okay.
hang out with us today.
I'll see you this afternoon. How is that?
I'll see you this afternoon. Have a great day.
Okay. Thank you. You too.
All right,
Luis.
Well, that's your first name. Is your last name Tavares or your last
Yeah,
name Pete?
Tavares. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right, Mr. Tavares, would you like an opportunity to pre-try your case with the solicitor, or do you want to go straight to trial?
Straight to trial. Yeah.
Okay, we'll go to trial. All right, thank you so much. Hold one moment.
All right.
Edward George Townsend.
Morning, Your Honor. Jason McClendon for Mr. Townsend. He should be joining on the call any moment. We've worked out a negotiated plea on that matter.
Okay, is that correct, Mr. Marie Rose?
Judge, if counsel says it is, more than likely it is. I can't right off the top of my head remember that, but I'm sure that we'll get to it.
That's not a problem. I'll allow you guys to speak about it. We'll go ahead and take that matter up as soon as you guys are ready, okay?
All right. Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And Darian Weems. Don Weems. I don't see anyone with that name on my Zoom. Madam Clerks, do we see anyone with that name?
No, Judge.
Have we sent Mr. Weems appropriate, first of all, have we had contact with Mr. Weems in the past and have sent him appropriate notice of this hearing?
We sent him a letter on May 23rd of this year.
Okay.
I'm checking to verify that we have not, it wasn't returned to us. I'm checking.
Okay. Did he had an arraignment? What was the date of the arraignment? Do we know?
One moment.
His last arraignment date was January 26th of this
Okay.
year, but this case goes all the way back to last year of January.
I see it. I see it. Once I confirm that I see that we sent the letter, I believe that Ms. Yates is determining whether or not it came back. You're on mute, Ms. Yates. I didn't know if you intended to be on mute.
I'm sorry. I don't see that it was returned to us.
All right, Mr. Marie Rose, any motion from the city?
Yes, city will move for failure to appear.
Okay, I'm going to grant that motion. All right, and that concludes the call of the calendar. Is there anyone that I have not spoken to or addressed who's involved in a case that I have not called? If so, come off mute and please let me know. I see Mr. It looks like Mr. Townsend, I see that you're on. Your lawyer has made an announcement for you, sir. So just hold on mute for me. Okay, with that being said, I think there are a couple people who wanted to speak to the solicitor. I'll let Mr. Townsend's attorney speak to the solicitor first. I think we can probably dispose of that pretty quickly.
Okay, I'll set that up right now. I'm gonna put you guys in room 1, okay?
Okay, and then all of the other pretrials, if you can just set them off into another breakout room. Judge, and a quick announcement on Ms. Redding's matter. I did review the documents that she provided to the court. I am a little bit perplexed because I don't recall the conversation she had with the judge about providing the documents. Ms. Redding was charged with failure to signal and then driving with a suspended or revoked license. If the court doesn't mind asking Ms. Redding what the purpose of providing the documents was, and the reason is because the documents, in normal circumstances, the documents would have been provided to support the fact that she did have a license on this particular date, but that's not what I received.
All right, Ms. Redding, can you come off mute, ma'am?
Yes.
All right, so the documents that you provided, hold on, let me see if I can pull those up. What was the purpose of you bringing those documents in?
He told me to bring them in because they keep saying my license is suspended under my medication and due to my my health. But when I be sending the paper in to the DMV, and I had to send the paper to my doctor, sign up and everything, ever since like 2014. I've been going through this for them to take this off, but then when the COVID came in, it's still the same that my license suspended. And so then the owner, I keep going way out there. My daughter take me way out there on Kanye to the DMV, and I be trying to call people. A lot of times you can't talk to them on the phone because it's not going to answer. So when I took my paper to the doctor, he signed off on for them to scrape my license out. So that I don't know. So that's when the last time I talked to the judge, he just told me whatever paper I have in to bring it into the court system. I didn't plead no not guilty. I didn't plead guilty. I didn't plead no. He just told me I don't know which way to go because of the situation. I said for one thing, I wouldn't have been driving if the ambulance wouldn't have picked my ex-husband up off the expressway, and around that time he had got sick. He was already sick.
So Ms. Redding, I don't mean to cut you off, but I don't want you to get too much into your case and say something that may be used against you later. Why don't you hold? I understand your concern, Mr. Marie Rose. Let me let you get through some of the other ones, because this one may require a little more intervention.
Yes, Sean. I'll go ahead and
okay.
go to the attorneys and try to resolve the pretrials.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
So Ms. Redding Hole, go ahead and go back on mute.
Okay.
Those individuals who indicated that they wanted to pre-try with the solicitor, the clerk will break you out. And I think we have trials for last name Cooks, Henley, and Tavares. So those three trials will go forward. We'll give the solicitor a few moments, or he may need about 30 minutes to resolve all the pre-trials, maybe 15 minutes. So everyone can go to your breakout rooms. If you have a trial, you gotta just report back here at 9:20, okay? I would prefer you don't disconnect from the Zoom, but if you have to, 9:20, log back on. Unless you're talking to the solicitor, you gotta stay on, okay? Because he'll bring you in the breakout room. All right?
Judge Sellers, I sent a request for Ms. Redding and Mr. Williams to go to breakout room number 2 for pretrial.
Okay, Ms. Redding, Mr. Williams.
I think
If you
Mr.
see
Williams.
a notice, if you see a notice on the top of your screen that says join breakout room, go ahead and click join, okay?
Oh, we're frozen. Wow.
Am I frozen?
No, you're not
Okay.
frozen. It appeared that she was frozen. Okay, she's
Okay.
in that breakout room.
All right, and so now we have the people who wanted a trial, which is Cooks. I'm looking. Henley, I see. And Tavares.
Hop over there.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then, so you all, 9:20, okay? We'll start trials at 9, well, at least to give the solicitor an opportunity, and then we should be, I'll let you know about time once it's about 9:20, okay? We're good. You can cut off your videos until 9:20. Are we good, Madam Clerk?
Yes, ma'am, we are.
All right, I'll be back at 9:20, okay?
Okay.
Thank you.
Judge, we have an announcement on Mr. Townsend's case. And Miss Yates or Miss Payton, I think that there was one other person that I was supposed to pre-try with.
Yes, they are in breakout room 2.
Oh,
I can put you over there. 1 second.
yeah, because I only have breakout room 1.
Solicitor, this is
Yes.
Yolanda. As it pertains to the elder case, we did receive that discovery. However, it is a discovery for State Patrol. We tried to reach out to State Patrol to get those documents for them, but they were not able, they sent them to us, but we were not able to download it. So I made them aware they needed to contact State Patrol directly.
Yeah, but so Ms. Green, here's the other problem.
Okay.
I need to see it.
Okay.
Yeah, because I haven't been able to even open up the police report to see what it's about. I don't have any results from the blood tests. I don't have anything, and that would have been all in their file.
Gotcha.
So I'm kind of happy that we reset it for, I'm Trooper was available, but I still need to see all of that. So they have to get it to us in a format that we can open it up.
Gotcha. Okay.
And it's better if we can do that, because if we can forward it to
him,
the attorney on that, we know that they'll be able to open it up too.
Gotcha.
Okay, so I'm going to join this other breakout room. And I guess, Madam Clerks, I can go ahead and just make the announcement on Mr. Townsend's case. His attorney was in another courtroom, so I went ahead and had him released. Mr. Townsend is going to be entering a guilty plea to both the traffic control device, and there's an amendment on the second charge. It's going to be expired license. There is a fine of $175 on the traffic control device and $695 on the expired license, for a total of $870. And he is going to need more than 2 weeks to pay it. I do have an email address. He did also place it in the chat. So depending on whether the judge wants to release him at this point, or if she wants to hear the negotiated plea, I am going to jump in here and speak to, I believe it was Mr. Robinson in the breakout room.
Okay. Mr. Townsend,
Yes.
can you tell me your email so I can write it down?
Yeah. GE
Mhm.
dot TOW
Mhm.
NS
Mhm.
END the number 3 at gmail.com.
So I got ce.townsend, the number 3 at gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
All right, is everyone ready?
The solicitor is in the breakout room with the two defendants that wanted to pre-trial.
Okay, he needs a little more time.
Yes, he does.
All right, so all right, Mr. Townsend, Mr. Tavares, Mr. Henley, we'll be on recess for another 10 minutes, okay? We only got one solicitor and he has to take care of everybody. So 10 more minutes, 9:30, okay?
Mr.
Go ahead.
Townsend was represented, and the solicitor and his attorney did work out a negotiated plea.
Okay.
He did state that.
And so Mr. Townsend needs to be present to take that plea, is that correct?
I'm not sure. I know that the attorney had another court hearing to attend.
Okay, Mr. Townsend, hold on for one moment for me. We'll sort that out. 9:30, we'll report back, okay? Thank you.
Huh?
Madam Clerks, Miss Redding is there any way to pull her out of the breakout room? Because she doesn't know how to operate her phone to get out of that breakout room.
We'll send her a message to come to the main room.
I just sent her a message.
Okay. And can I get an update on Officer Gray?
Which one we have? Well, there was two of them.
N. Gray?
Nathan. We contacted him. He was here last week. But
Okay. And we don't have any information stating that he's on leave or training or anything like that?
I did not receive anything.
Okay.
No, he was the one that was on last week. Yes.
But no longer works here.
Okay. Okay. What about Hutchinson? Anybody got any information, on Officer Hutchinson?
We have not heard anything from them. They're no longer here.
All right, Judge, I'm ready when you are.
She stated that she'll be, that will reconvene at 9:30.
Oh. So, Mr. Henley? Can you hear me, Mr. Henley?
Yes. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Mr. Henley. I need you to turn your camera on, though. So, Mr. Henley, on your case, you were charged with 2 citations, one for a stop sign violation, the other one for driving without a valid license.
So,
do you have anything to provide to the court in reference to your license that you had a valid license when you were stopped?
no, I didn't have a license when I was stopped.
Okay. So in reference to that charge alone, what is it that you want to do with that charge? Are you pleading not guilty to driving without a valid license?
Yeah, I'm not guilty.
To driving without a valid license?
Without a license, yeah.
Yeah, remember, and let me just make sure that you understand what I'm saying. What's that?
I didn't have any license.
Okay.
I was guilty of that.
All right. So this is what I'm asking you.
Okay.
When you got stopped on January 22nd of 2021, did you have a valid license?
No.
All right. So in reference to your plea for that charge, are you pleading guilty to that offense or not guilty to that offense?
I wasn't driving.
Oh, okay. So you're saying that okay. The reason you're pleading not guilty is because you weren't driving the vehicle.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. And Madam Clerk, what was the announcement on the victim in that case? Did we?
I see Zaria Walker is on the line. We have not heard, we sent out letters to DeMarcus Scott, but hadn't heard anything.
Okay. So Judge, I was just trying to make sure that on Mr. Henley's case, I knew what we were moving forward with in reference to that particular charge. I do have an announcement on Robinson that I tried the case with, and this was a failure to maintain insurance charge. I was hesitant to, and we discussed the matter surrounding the case, but I was hesitant to move forward without the court's input on this matter. Mr. Robinson, I believe, previously indicated that he did not plan, his intention was not to plead not guilty on this, but because of the nature of the charge, the judge probably, out of an abundance of caution, decided to go ahead and put him in as not guilty to see if there's anything that he can do to provide information. And his indication to me is that he has no information he can provide that shows that he had coverage then. But I would like for him to have that discussion with the court, because as I explained to him that this is a suspendable offense, a guilty plea or being found guilty after a trial is going to suspend his license. I went through his history and looked. He's not eligible for a NOLO because he used it for the same offense in 2021.
Okay.
His options are either to move forward with the trial or to plead guilty. In any event, the consequences are the consequences. So I wanted to make sure the court was, that he completely understood the ramifications of moving forward.
Okay. Mr. Robinson, you can come off of mute, sir. You can take your phone off of mute.
Okay. How about that?
All right. Okay. Okay, Mr. Robinson. So I know you've heard did you hear what the solicitor just told the court?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you understand, sir, based on you were charged with failure to maintain insurance and a guilty plea or being found guilty after a trial may very well and likely will suspend your driver's license. Okay. You are not eligible to utilize the NOLO plea on this charge because you just used it in 2021 for the same charge. And so I want you to understand that your driver's license will very likely be suspended as a result of what happens today. Okay. With that information, sir, did you want to plead guilty or did you want to go to a trial?
I mean, either way, the outcome will be the same. You know what I'm saying, right?
Well, I certainly can't prejudge the evidence, but if you know the facts better than I do at this point, sir. And if you understanding the facts, the decision ultimately belongs to you until you decide to plead not guilty, and then I try it, and the decision belongs to me, right? Right now, the decision is still in your court. How do you wish to proceed, sir?
I got a question, ma'am. Okay, if I plead for the trial, but there's still nothing the judge can do, automatically my license is gonna be suspended, right?
If you're found guilty, sir, yes, your license will be suspended.
Okay. Well, okay. Then I had to. How about is there anything I can do that? Basically, my wife she forgot to pay the insurance both times. I mean, I don't pay no bill, but she unlocked the bill. But that's not an excuse. So, but I mean that when the lady stopped me as far as Paul, they did a curse. They let me call her, and she put the insurance right on my truck. But I guess that still don't clarify that they have insurance though, right?
No, at the time, it sounds like what you're telling the court is at the time that you were initially stopped, you had no insurance. Now, Mr. Solicitor, with that information, is it still the city's position that you intend to proceed with?
I explained to Mr. Townsend that the officers do that because it's as a courtesy, so they don't have to impound the vehicle, because if there's no coverage, they can't allow them to drive off So they would normally allow them the courtesy of getting insurance on the vehicle, verifying that before they pull off, so that they won't have to impound the vehicle and the defendants go through all of the changes of getting the vehicles back. As I've explained to him, after looking at his history, his option would have been to do the NOLO to avoid the suspension, but because he's done that, had the same charge just last year, that's not an option that he has anymore.
Okay. So, Mr. Robinson, understanding that, understanding that it sounds like at the time that you were stopped, you did not have insurance. And so understanding that, how do you wish to proceed? Plead guilty or a trial and,
Well, we don't need to plead. I mean, no trial, but I didn't have insurance at the moment, I'd be wasting our time.
Okay. All right. So you obviously you'll get notice from the DMV about the suspension and how to obtain your license once the suspension period is over. I think it's 6 months. Is that still correct, Mr. Marie Rose? I think it's still
180 days, Judge.
100. Yes. So 180 days from the time that they send you notice. So we'll go ahead and change that to a guilty plea. Okay.
Can I get a driving permit?
To drive to and from work, I certainly can't advise you on that.
No, ma'am, I got a lot of doctors, health issues. No, ma'am, I need a doctor to drive back and forth to the doctor. I got a lot of health issues. I wouldn't.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to go. I don't. Who would I see about that?
I understand that, sir. You will need to take that up with the Department of Motor, the DMV, the DDS, and the DMV. Okay.
Okay.
I can't give you any legal advice, but you would take it up with those two entities. I would probably start with the Department of Driver Services first.
Okay, DDS. Okay. All right.
Yep. I would start with DDS. Okay.
Okay.
Madam Clerk, I just because I'm unfamiliar, when they enter a guilty plea on Zoom, is there some sort, what is the process and the procedure?
Just I'm sorry, hold on one moment. I'm sorry. Go ahead. So
I was saying, I saw your lips moving, but I didn't hear anything, so I thought you were on mute.
We make note of the fine amount.
Is there? I guess I'm saying, normally you sign a plea form or anything like that. Go ahead.
We'll send that information through email, through DocuSign. That's what we need for them to enter their email addresses in the chat so that we can send that documentation to them.
Okay. Mr. Robinson.
Ma'am.
Can you put your email address in the chat, please, sir?
I already got it. I already put it in there.
Okay, sounds great. You have it, Madam Clerk?
Sir, you said last time, are you talking about when you came to court previously? If so, I need you to re-enter that information or provide that information to me now.
So how do I do that?
Just tell us what your email address is, Mr.
Yeah,
okay,
what is your email address?
Robinson Williams 053@gmail.com.
I have it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So, Mr. Robinson, you're going to receive an email, and that email is going to indicate the total fine amount. Which, what is that fine amount, Miss Peyton, Miss Yates?
$985.
The total fine amount of $985. It's also going to give you instructions on how to contact the proper party. I'm assuming that you need more than 2 weeks to pay that. Is that correct?
Excuse me?
You need more than 2 weeks to pay that? Can you pay it within 2 weeks, or do you need more time?
The money's not the problem, sir. I can pay it in 2 weeks.
Okay, so your email is going to indicate how to make the payments within 2 weeks. Remember that if you do not do it within 2 weeks, they charge you a $200 fine for that. So you want to make sure that you take care of it within 2 weeks, and you'll get all those instructions in your email, okay? Also, look, if you don't receive an email within the next 7 days from the court, look into your spam to make sure that it didn't go into your spam. We will send it, but you may not receive it if your email is set up to not accept emails from unfamiliar email addresses.
Okay, all right.
I believe that's all, unless you had some other questions, Mr. Townsend.
You mean Mr. Robinson?
Sorry, Mr. Robinson can be released.
So Mr. Marie Rose and Madam Clerk, just so that I'm clear on the Zooms here, we don't kind of go through the whole, what the plea sheet says initially, or we just send it to them, and I'm just asking for clarification.
So what Judge Freeman usually does is that trial dates, he will make the same announcements that he made during the arraignment in reference to what your rights are. But he emphasizes that all of those documents that are being signed need to be read thoroughly, because they're going to be your rights forms, and they need to sign it, DocuSign, and send it back after they've received it from the clerk's office. Because although the problem with Zoom is that we can make the announcement a gazillion times, and if they're not physically in front of us, we can't be assured that they're even hearing it.
Correct.
So the document
All right.
is an important part of it.
Okay, so let me go through my little spiel, just because we're on the record, and I want to make sure that we're clear, Mr. Robinson, okay? Come off of mute for me, sir. Mr. Robinson, can you come off of mute for me, sir?
Okay.
All right, Mr. Robinson, you have been charged with failure to maintain insurance. And I understand at this time you wish to enter a guilty plea. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this plea is being freely and voluntarily given. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
You understand that you have the right to a trial on this charge. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that by entering your guilty plea, you are giving up your right to a trial. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. No one has forced you or coerced you to take this plea. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that by entering your guilty plea, you the court can sentence you to up to 1 year in jail and $1,000 fine. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You understand that you have the right to an attorney?
Right. Yes,
And you
ma'am.
understand that by entering your guilty plea right at this time, you're giving up that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Mr. Robinson, I have found that your guilty plea is freely and voluntarily given. The fine amount, sir, is $985. You will have 2 weeks within which to make that payment. Okay. The office will mail you a plea form that you will need to sign and send back. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you understand, we've talked about the suspendable, the fact that this is a suspendable offense, and that you will need to contact the Department of Driver Services for further, they'll let you know when it's suspended, and you will need to contact them for any further discussions regarding your driver's license. All right, sir?
All right.
All right. Do you have any other questions for the court?
No, ma'am.
All right. Madam Clerk, anything else for Mr. Robinson?
Mr. Robinson, I did go ahead and send that to you right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mr. Robinson, they've already emailed you the plea form. All right, sir?
Okay.
All right. If there's nothing else, sir, you can have your excuse, and you can have a great day. All right?
All right, you too, ma'am. Thank y'all.
Thank you. You can disconnect from the Zoom. You can leave the Zoom, okay?
Okay.
Mr. Marie Rose, any other announcements?
Yes, Your Honor. Announcement on Mr. Tavares Pepin's matter. The city is going to move to dismiss for warrant of prosecution.
Okay. Mr. Tavares, you can come off the mute.
I'm here.
My assumption is that you do not have any objection to that.
I guess not.
All right. The motion is granted.
I appreciate that.
All right. Well, Madam Clerk, will Mr. Tavares receive any notification in the mail of that, or via email of that?
via email, and if he can type his email address in the chat if he hasn't already done so.
Yeah, I'm
All
gonna do that right now.
Thank you.
Okay.
And Judge, the next announcement is on Mr. Townsend, George Townsend. This was the one that I pre-tried with his attorney. His attorney was in another courtroom, so I went ahead and released him. I've already given this is a negotiated plea. Mr. Townsend is pleading guilty to the traffic control device charge with a fine of $175. The other charge is being amended to an expired license charge. That charge is $695 for a total of $870. Mr. Townsend has indicated that he needs more than 2 weeks to pay that. We do have his email in the chat. I just wanted to make sure that the court was aware, and if you wanted to go over his rights in reference to that before we release him.
I appreciate that. Before we start, Mr. Tavares, you've already put your email in the chat. Madam Clerks, do you have it?
I have it. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Tavares, you're free to go, sir. Have a great day.
Thank you. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, now the expired license charge, help me, Mr. Prosecutor, does that still come with that suspension?
No, Judge, the amendment is based on some additional information that was provided by attorney.
Okay. All right, just want to make sure he's pleading guilty to both. Is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Townsend.
Yes, ma'am.
I know he was on. Okay.
I'm here.
Good morning, Mr. Townsend.
Good morning.
All right. The solicitor has indicated that your attorney has negotiated a plea for you on these two charges. On the traffic control device charge, the plea is guilty, Mr. Marie Rose?
That's what Mr. Townsend indicated, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so the plea on the traffic control device is $175 fine. And the negotiated plea on you originally charged with failure to maintain insurance based on the negotiations and documentation provided by your counsel, the charge is being amended to an expired license charge with a fine of $695. Okay? And I understand that you need more than the 2 weeks to pay. Is that correct?
Yeah, just 2 days.
You said
you need 2 days or 2 weeks and 2 days?
2 weeks and 2 days.
All right. And so I think that do we place them on probation for the additional 2 days? Is that what we're gonna do?
So Judge, if they indicate they cannot pay it within 2 weeks, we automatically send them an email to be placed on pay-only probation to give them enough time. The minute that they pay it off, then probation is terminated. So if it takes them 2 days longer, then it'll be over in 2 days.
Okay.
And the reason for that, Judge, is because if they don't do it within the 2 week time frame, if they state that they can, then the city charges them $200. Day 15, they get a $200.
Got it. So, Mr. Townsend, what Mr. Marie Rose is stating, and I know your attorney had to jump. I know you're represented by counsel, and your attorney had to jump off and jump into another courtroom. And so what Mr. Marie Rose is explaining is that the city of Forest Park charges $200, a $200 penalty if you can't pay within 2 weeks. Okay. And so to give you an opportunity to pay, if it takes longer than 2 weeks, we would put you on what's called pay-only probation. So there'll be no other conditions other than you to pay. And that will give you an opportunity to pay your fine without any additional fees, assuming that you pay your fine. I think it's still 3 months. You have additional time to pay your fine. Now, certainly pay-only probation doesn't last forever, right? And so at some point, if you don't pay, you will have to start paying probation fees. Do you understand that?
Are you saying that $200 is with probation or without it? You get what I'm saying?
Yes, the $200 is without probation. So the 2 weeks would start running from today.
Okay.
Right? And so if you don't pay within 2 weeks of today, day 15, the city's going to charge you an extra $200 if you're not on pay-only probation. If you're on pay-only probation, you will get additional time to pay without any penalty. Okay. I believe pay only probation is good for either 30 days or 90 days. And is it 90, Mr. Murray Rose?
30 days, Judge, they charge a
30 days.
supervision fee after 30 days.
Yes. So the pay only probation gives you 30 days to pay with no fee. Okay. After 30 days, so on day 31, if you still haven't paid the fee, there will be probation fees. Do you understand, Mr. Townsend?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. All right. So with that information, would you like to proceed with your negotiated guilty plea?
Yeah.
Okay. And you understand, sir, that you are entering into a negotiated plea on a negotiated guilty plea on the charge of a traffic control device. I'm sorry, failure to obey a traffic control device, as well as failure to maintain insurance. You understand that, sir?
Yes.
Okay. And you understand that you have the right to plead not guilty and go to a trial.
Yes.
And you understand that by entering these negotiated pleas, you are waiving that right to plead not guilty and waiving your right to a trial. I'm sorry, I have to get a verbal response, sir.
Yes.
Okay. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. And I know that you understand you have a right to an attorney, and you in fact had an attorney negotiate this plea with Mr. Marie Rose. Is that correct?
Yes.
You understand that by that entering a plea of guilty can carry with it a maximum fine of $1,000 per offense and 1 year in jail per offense.
Yes.
Okay. And you understand this, and you are freely and voluntarily entering this plea and giving up your right to plead not guilty.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I find that your plea has been freely and voluntarily given. On the failure to obey the traffic control device, I'm sorry. Yes, and I accept your guilty plea. On the failure to obey a traffic control device, the fine will be $175. On the failure to, on the expired license fine charge, the fine will be $695. All right. And is your email address? Well, I guess are we contacting his counsel, Madam Clerk?
We have the email addresses for him and his attorney.
Okay. So be on the lookout for the plea sheet, Mr. Townsend.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Have a great day.
You too.
Mr. Solicitor. I keep calling you Madam Solicitor. I'm so used to it. Mr. Solicitor.
Yes, Your Honor. So if the court would indulge me, what I want to do is go ahead with Mr. Henley's trial at this point. Ms. Redding has, I want to keep her on, but I want to hold her to last because there are some HIPAA implications in reference to her case that I don't want necessarily to be going into with other folks on the Zoom. So
I respect that. So we'll go on with Mr. Henley's trial. Now, I do see that we have Cook's trial. What is there an announcement on Cook's? Because I don't see him on my Zoom anymore.
I'm sorry, Judge. Let me get
no problem. Did I miss that? I may have.
No. I actually missed that, Judge. So on Mr. Cook's, I intended to make an announcement. This is a following too close and a hit and run failure to stop. The witness was subpoenaed on this, and correct me if I'm wrong, Madam Clerk. Frankie Seagraves, and I believe we made an announcement for Mr. Seagraves earlier, but it is now 9:55 and there is no appearance. So the city would to probably dismiss for want of prosecution. I know that there's an officer assigned to this, but the officer did not witness the accident. They were just dispatched to the scene. And so the city could not move forward with its burden without the witness being present. And so we wouldn't move to dismiss for want of prosecution.
Okay. And Mr. Cooks is no longer. Mr. Cooks, you here?
Yes.
All right, Mr.
I'm here.
Cooks, you heard what Mr. Marie Rose said. My assumption is that you have no objection.
I do have an objection, but it was no. I don't.
So let me let you understand what he's saying, kind of in layman terms, okay? The city wants to dismiss your case in its
Okay.
entirety.
That's fine.
So, yeah.
I'm sorry.
So when I say you have an objection, I assume that you didn't have a problem with that. But if you do, I'm willing to entertain your problem.
I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. Thank
Okay,
you.
okay. All right. Hearing no objection, we'll go ahead and dismiss the case for warrant of prosecution. Mr. Cooks, can you drop your email address in the chat so that the clerks can send you the appropriate documentation?
Yes, I can.
Okay. All right. Give me one moment.
I received your email address. Thank you.
Welcome.
All right, Ms. Cooks, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you too. Very much.
All right, have a great day.
You too.
All right, so now that just leaves Ms. Redding and Mr. Henley, correct?
Yes.
Yes, Judge.
All right, so Ms. Redding, you can hang out and listen. We will take your matter up after we finish Mr. Henley's trial.
Okay.
All right. Let me pull Mr. Henley's information now. All right. All right, Mr. Solicitor, I'm
Yes,
ready to hear
Judge.
you.
And let me just make sure that I lay the groundwork for the court to understand how we're going to proceed with this. This was
Okay.
an accident case involving Mr. Henley. The officer, Officer Gray, who is not present on this call, and actually, we still have an officer on here. I don't believe that we need Officer Ellis anymore.
Officer Ellis, okay. He
Yeah.
was here for Ms. Redding.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so we do need him still.
Yeah, we need him to hang on for a moment.
But in reference to Mr. Henley's case, the officer is not present. We do not need the officer to present the case because we have a witness who was involved in the accident. And
Okay.
because the officer was dispatched to that location, he couldn't testify to anything other than what the witness statements say. There were more witnesses that were subpoenaed, but Ms. Walker is the only one who is here. So the city would proceed just based on the testimony of Ms. Walker. And we do have a police report, but because we don't have the additional witnesses here, we'll stay away from anything that anybody else may have said because they're not present here and it would be hearsay. So do you want me to swear them in, Judge, or do you want to?
I'll go ahead and do that. Mr. Henley, Ms. Walker. Oh, I'm sorry, madam. I saw something pop across my Zoom screen. Are we techie where we are swearing in on the Zoom?
I'm not sure what popped up.
Is something about you about to raise your hand? Was that my Zoom? Does that?
I think that was just, I think that may have been yours. I don't see anything else.
Judge,
okay, well, I'm sorry.
You have one of those interactive computers that take your gestures and turn them into icons.
You know what? I'm telling you, I tell people all the time, I'm not techie, but you know, people around me try to make me techie. I don't know. All right. Mr. Henley, Ms. Walker, raise your right hands for me. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give in this matter is the truth under penalty of perjury?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much. You can lower your hands. And Mr. Marie Rose, you may begin.
Yes, Your Honor. So Mr. Henley is before the court because he was involved in an accident on January 22nd of 2021. This was within the city limits of Union City. The officer, of course, as I have announced to the court, is not present, but we do not need the officer to proceed based on the fact that we have a witness, Miss Zaria Walker, who was, I believe, a passenger in the other vehicle involved in the accident.
Hold on a second, Mr. Murillo. You said Union City. Did you mean Forest Park?
Judge, that's what I meant.
Got it.
I apologize.
Okay.
I apologize. My cities are running into each other. Forest
I
Park.
understand.
And so the only witness that we would have to present is Ms. Walker. Ms. Walker, on the date in question, were you involved in the motor vehicle accident with Mr. Henley?
Yes, sir, I was. I was actually the driver. He was my passenger and I was the driver.
So, okay. So there we go. This just fell apart real quick.
Yes.
So Miss Walker, you were actually a witness for Mr. Henley.
Yes, sir. I was the one driving. We got into the accident.
Well, hold on a second. I don't want you to go into any of the facts of the case because I have a motion I'm going to make right now. Judge, based on the fact that I do not have any of the witnesses that were in the other vehicle involved in the accident, and we do not have any officer present, the city would to move to dismiss for warrant of prosecution.
All right, Mr. Henley, do you understand? Well, let me put it in layman's terms. The city is moving to dismiss your case.
Okay.
Okay. Now, do you have any objection to that, Mr. Henley?
No.
Okay. All right. I'm going to grant the city's motion. Hearing no objection from the defendant, the case is dismissed for warrant of prosecution. Mr. Henley, can you place your email address in the chat, please, so that we can send you the appropriate documentation?
Yes. Can you?
Okay, I can see you now. What were you saying?
I was saying, can you guide me through the process? I don't know how to chat in here.
You can just tell me your email address.
My first and last name at gmail.com. RODRICAUSHENLEY
Okay. We will
All
email
right,
your
Ms.
documents to you. I'm sorry.
No, I apologize, Madam Clerk. I cut you off. Go ahead.
We'll email your documents to you, sir, or your documents to you, sir.
All right.
All right, Mr. Henley, Ms. Walker, anything else for the court?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you so very much. You all are both excused. You can leave the Zoom meeting.
You guys have a great one.
Same to you, Ms. Walker.
All right, Judge. So the only one that's left is Miss Redding, and Officer Ellis is.
Can we do this? I know Officer Ellis is here. Given that there's some HIPAA implications, can we put him in a chat? I mean, not chat, some sort of room so that we can kind of discuss this HIPAA stuff without him, and when we need him, we bring him back in. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Officer Ellis, do you understand what we're gonna do?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
And Judge, I don't know what the court rules are because we are broadcasting this.
Yeah. I completely forgot about that. I'd rather not discuss anything related to HIPAA on YouTube, right? That's not good. Is there a way, Madam Clerks, need you to help me out?
I think if we put you guys in the breakout room, just talk to Ms. Redding, it won't be broadcasted. Anything in the main room is the only thing that gets broadcast.
Okay. So why don't we put, Madam Clerks, I want you to join us because we need to have court personnel. Can we create a breakout room? Ms. Redding, you're gonna see a breakout room come up on your screen, okay? I'm gonna need you to go into that.
Okay.
All right?
All righty.
Is it room
Did you
2?
get it, Miss Redding? Yes. I'm gonna just put it back in the same one you guys were in.
Okay.
The only thing y'all see was a circle with the firefox thing. It didn't ever say anything else on there.
At the bottom, it doesn't say anything about
It said
breakout room.
No, no, ma'am. It's the only thing at the bottom of my thing saying fire department, Mr. Court. Okay, I'm at
Okay, hold
John.
on. Hold on. Nope, now John. You see it?
Yeah, John.
Yes, ma'am. She's there.
Kia, can you hear me? Kia.
She went to the breakout room.
Okay. If I send somebody in there, can you take a payment real quick, or do I need to come in?
I can take the payment.
He's on the docket for this afternoon. Last name Kane. I've already added the court costs, so it's
Okay.
total gonna be 165.
Okay.
All right, so you can go to the window out in the hallway. Thank you. Ms. Yates or Ms. Payton?